Hello everybody. Thank you so much for sharing that video about the 5 being charged in Pennsylvania. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the views, and I appreciate all the likes and new subscribers and comments. Oh my goodness, my inbox this morning was blowing up. I wanted to do a quick update though to the video I did, two videos I did last week about Watchtower investments, because when I was looking for something else to send somebody a copy of the 990 form I had, I came across this letter. I have no idea where Atlantis found this, but it was in Beatzilla. So thank you, Atlantis. You're a magician, I swear. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to go to the IRS website and show you how to find the documents for Watchtower. Because many, we did the Henrietta Riley Foundation investments, and we know Watchtower gets money from that, but they really didn't have any control over what investments were bought and sold. You know, Watchtower just takes the money. But I went to the IRS website and found their documents, and so I'm going to turn the camera around and we will go through all of that and talk about that. Now I'm here at the irs.gov website, and you can go to the tax exempt organization search, and right here in this box it says employer identification number. Well, we happen to have their employer identification number from some of their other documents, and so what we're going to do is put 111753 577 and do a search. And like you see right here, Watchtower Bible Tract Society. This has nothing to do with the Henrietta Riley Foundation. This is Watchtower Bible Tract Society of New York. Now when you go over here to the side, you see copies of returns. We're going to click on that. Okay, these are the 990s that are available through the IRS website. And those are your 990 forms, and we have the 2021, but there's just not that much information. And from what I understand, I'm not a tax expert, but from what I understand, churches don't have to file one of these 990-Ts, but you can just, open these up, and over here just get a copy of these forms. So, and they're stamped and dated, so, you can grab those. But I wanted to show you that I have put all of this on my website, our website, watchtower.expose, and I will put the link down below to this because I've updated it. I have put this letter at the top, and then also the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society's 990 forms at the top here. Now let's zoom in here, and I want to show you, see, Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. This is their 990. Red Mills, Wallkill, New York. But look over here. Book value of all assets at the end of the year, $1,590,000,000, so almost $1.6 billion. All right, now I want to zoom in right here, right underneath the 1.6 billion. Describe the organization's primary unrelated business activity. Investment activities. Investment activities. How these churches can get by with being a charity and non-tax exempt when they're making this kind of money on investment activities. This is so disturbing. Like I said, this has nothing to do with the Henrietta Riley. And this is the latest that I have. And I have a download button down here at the bottom to where you can, grab these. But I wanted to show you this letter. Let me zoom in here a little bit. And like I said, I found this in Beastzilla. Where Atlantis got it, I have no idea. But I'm going to read this. At the top, we have a date of 11/28/02. And right here, you can see the date of the letter is November 11th, 2002. And it's from the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, Patterson, New York. That's the letterhead. And some of this information has been redacted, like the person's name right here. Okay, so I'm going to read this. However, we will now be glad to address your questions about the allegation that the Watchtower Society owned stock in the RANCAM Corporation. Now listen carefully to how this is worded, because this is like a deflection, a red herring. It's totally, instead of just coming out and say, we don't have anything to do with this company. No, they don't do that. It's very carefully worded, and then they go on to defend themselves, okay? Going on. After looking into this matter when it was first raised, we found that none of the legal corporations used by the governing body in caring for kingdom interests. See, that's very interesting. What corporation used by the governing body in caring for kingdom interests has corporation or business dealings with anything? See how that's carefully deflected? They don't come out and say, we have nothing to do with this company. No. Okay? Interests own stock in the RANCAM Corporation or any associate company involved in developing the diesel engine in question. The facts are that two brothers originally involved in inventing and developing the engine made a private agreement years ago, of which we were not notified, to send a portion of any profits realized from the venture to the Watchtower Society. See? Oh, we have nothing to do with it, but we'll gladly take the money. As a gift for its worldwide work. Subsequently, circumstances required that rights to ownership and developing the engine be transferred to a holding company not controlled by them. See? Transferred to a holding company not controlled by them. The Watchtower Society was erroneously listed as a stockholder in information published by the holding company. But see, they're still getting money from this. And this error has now been corrected. Hence, the charge is totally false. Moreover, the Watchtower Society has received no contributions as a result of the original private agreement made between the two brothers. We trust the above comments will be helpful to you. We send our warm love and Christian greetings. Your brothers in Jehovah's service. Like I said, this letter will be available on our website. And also, I want to cover this. I want to thank Atlantis and everybody else who sent me this information. This is from the Straits Times. I have to excuse the ads. This is Asia. I'll put the link down below to this. Forced participation in religious activities to be classified as child abuse in Japan. This was really interesting. Tokyo. New health ministry guidelines in Japan will classify as abuse any acts by members of religious groups who threaten or force their children to participate in religious activities or that hinder a child's career path based on religious doctrine. So that means kids in Japan now can become musicians, sports athletes, any of that going on. According to unnamed sources cited by Japan Daily, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, the Health, Labor, and Welfare Ministry is preparing its first draft of guidelines to help local governments deal with issues of child abuse that have emerged in connection with religious groups such as the Unification Church, officially known as the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Well, you might as well add Jehovah's Witnesses to that because we know they do the same thing. The controversial Unification Church came to attention in 2022 after former Prime Minister Abiy, I'm not going to mention, was shot by a man with long-standing grudges against the religious group. Children of religious groups' followers have criticized the authorities' handling of this issue in the past. They have said child consultation centers and the police do not respond to their complaints of abuse, telling the children there was nothing they could do because freedom of religion is protected under the Constitution. And we have the same thing here in the United States. Any religion is protected under the Constitution, freedom of religion. In October, the ministry told local governments not to make perfunctory responses simply because a problem is religious in nature. It is also working to outline specific points in the guidelines that the authorities should be aware of when dealing with such cases. According to the sources, the envisaged guidelines will be in question and answer format and will specify what faith-based acts against children fall under the categories of abuse as stipulated in the Child Abuse Prevention Law. The law stipulates 4 types of abuse. Now, Mike and I have been talking about these types of abuse in our videos for years now. We always add spiritual abuse, but it's really close to what they say. Physical, sexual, neglect, and psychological. Add spiritual. Inciting fear by telling children they will go to hell. And I'm going to add, or die in Armageddon if they do not participate in religious activities, or preventing them from making decisions about their career path. Don't go get a higher education because this world is going away. You wouldn't want to be involved in Satan's world of college and higher education. It is regarded as psychological abuse and neglect in the guidelines. Other acts that will constitute neglect include not having the financial resources to provide adequate food or housing for children as a result of making large donations or blocking their interaction with friends due to a difference in religious beliefs and thereby undermining their social skills. Just get a part-time job, Jehovah's Witnesses, so that you can pioneer. When taking action, the guidelines will urge child consultation centers and local governments to pay particular attention to the possibility that children may be unable to recognize the damage caused by abuse after being influenced by doctrine-based thinking and values. Isn't that the truth?
Why should we pay attention at the meetings? Imagine if Noah didn't pay attention when Jehovah explained how to build the ark.
What happened, Dad?
You are right. He paid attention, and it saved his life.
Growing up as a witness, you don't think there's anything wrong with the way we are raised. There's nothing wrong with that fear indoctrination that you're going to die at Armageddon if you do something wrong. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. That's normal. In addition, there are concerns that giving advice to parents may cause the abuse to escalate and bring increased pressure from religious groups on the families. If you send your kid to college, gonna get disfellowshipped, you'll be removed as an elder. In the light of this, the guidelines will call for making the safety of children the top priority and taking them into temporary protective care without hesitation. For children 18 years of age or older not eligible for protection by child consultation centers, local governments should instead refer them to legal support centers, welfare offices, and other consolation facilities. Guidelines already exist for child consultation centers on how to respond to abuse, but this will be the first time that they are devised specifically for children of religious followers. We've mentioned in our videos many times about how many kids have died because their parents won't allow them a blood transfusion to save their lives. Disturbing. I'm so glad, though, to see a country who's taking this into consideration and going to do something about this, because these old ways are done. They need to go away, and let's bring in the new ways. You know, new ways of doing things, new way of protecting the vulnerable. I think this is the last sentence. The ministry has been developing these guidelines based on interviews conducted with some of the children in question. It's from the Japan News Asia News Network. So I'm going to send this actually to the Japanese lawyer that is working with that support group in Japan, and make sure that he sees it, because this really needs to be brought to everybody's attention in the world, and I would love to see every country do this. So that is all I have for now. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and you have a wonderful week. Bye.